I'm just going to talk a little bit today about stitch markers, what they are, how you use them, how they can help you in your knitting and crochet. So what are stitch markers? They are tiny little rings or shapes that you put onto your needles or onto your crochet that are visual reminders of a special stitch or something that you need to do at that point. They can show you the beginning of a round, they can show you where to do increases and decreases. If you're working short rows, they can remind you that you have to knit the turn with the stitch. If you're doing pattern repeats, they can split that up for you to make sure that you are keeping within the pattern and you haven't made any mistakes. They're just generally time savers that are a really useful thing to learn how to use. So I've written a full blog post on this. I'll put a link in the description if you want to read it. I'm just going to show you now how I use them and the different types of stitch markers that you can use for knitting and crochet. I like to think of stitch markers as being either active or passive. So your active stitch markers you are using on every round or every row, and they are important at every point in your knitting or crocheting. Your passive stitch markers might represent something like a place where you need to seam at the end, where you need to join two pieces together. They're not removed, they're placed into your knitting or crochet and left there until you need to use them in the future. They're not actively moved every time you are working, they are reference points for the future. So I'm going to show you how to use both of those types of markers today, and hopefully that will give you some confidence in using them and help you understand how you can incorporate them into your projects. So here I've got some stitch markers. This is just a small selection of the kind of stitch markers that you can get just to give you an idea. These are the ring markers for knitting. As you can see, they're sealed, there's no gaps on them or anything. Same with these little hearts, and then we've got the droplet style which are on a fixed ring. Then we've got these split ring markers which are for crochet, so they're in a spiral, so you can just easily pop them into your crochet and just twist them to secure them. And then we've got these lockable markers which look a bit like a safety pin. So these open and close so you can take them in and out of your knitting and crochet at any time. So now I'm going to show you how I use these in my knitting and crochet, just to give you an idea about how you can use them in yours. Now I've got a selection of markers here. Now I've got a nice small round one here, but when I pop that on my needle you can see it's dragging a little bit. It's quite difficult to push this one along. So although it looks as though it would fit, it's actually just a little bit too tight. So you don't want something that's going to drag along the needle. So I've got a slightly bigger one which would work absolutely fine, or if you've got one of the little heart ones, they're really good because they work on a variety of size needles because of the shape of them. The apex here in the heart will sit nicely on smaller needles with the curves of the heart at the front, which means that you don't have a big stitch marker at the back, which could create a ladder. So those are good, and you can also use them for small needles as well, for large and small needles. So all you need to do is pop that onto your right needle, and then you can just carry on working the rest of the stitches. So when your pattern tells you to place a marker, which will often be abbreviated as PM in a pattern, it's very simple. You just work to the point where it says place marker, take your marker and just pop it onto that right hand needle, and then you just carry on to work as per the pattern. Now just make sure that that first stitch is pulled a little bit tighter so there's no gap or ladder in over where the marker is, and then just carry on as normal. So one of the most common uses of stitch markers is when you're working in the round. So this stitch marker here represents the beginning of my round. So this stitch just after it is the first stitch that I knit for the round. The one here on the other side, on the right hand side of it, this was my last stitch. So when I come to this in the pattern, I just need to knit these last two stitches. Okay, so now I've come to my marker, and all I need to do is to get this marker from this needle onto this needle. Now it doesn't matter if you take it off, move it manually, if you slip it like this, or if you move it purlwise, it doesn't really matter as long as you move it from the left needle to the right one, and then just carry on. Now you just need to make sure that there isn't a gap at the back of the marker, so just pull that a little tight, that first stitch afterwards, and then just carry on. Okay, so in this example here, my marker is for a decrease of this mitered square, and the pattern will say work to 3 stitches before the marker. So all you need to do is spot your marker there and make sure you leave 3 stitches before it. So now I'm just going to work these stitches. And then all I need to do is follow the pattern. Now this pattern says to remove the marker, so all you need to do is slip that off, and then it tells me to knit one and place the marker back on, and then just carry on working. So in this example, it's really important to slip the marker as instructed in the pattern. Sometimes you'll be told just to slip marker, so literally just pass it from one needle to the other. In other instructions, it will tell you to do things before you slip the marker. So it's really important that you follow the steps and stages in the pattern. So how do we use the split ring markers for our crochet? Well, when the pattern says to place a marker, it will be referring to either the stitch or the chain that you've just done, and it will specify place the marker in the stitch or the chain. So what it's talking about is the one that you've just finished. So this is my last treble here, and it'll tell me to place a marker. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at the top of the stitch with the little V, and I'm going to take my split ring, I'm going to point the little end under both loops of that stitch and push it through, and then I'm just going to twist it until it gets right to the end, and that's as simple as it is. Now sometimes it might tell you to put it in the chain, so it would be exactly the same principle. You would just put it around the chain, just give it a twist till it gets to the end just to secure it. So what do you do when you reach the marker? Well, all you need to do is untwist it so that it comes out of the stitch like that, and then work the stitches as the pattern says and replace the marker in the correct place. So when we're working crochet in the round for something like amigurumi, the split ring marker is perfect for marking the beginning of the round. So when you've started back here, you'll have put your marker in, so you'll have just slipped it through the first stitch of the round. So when you carry on working in your spirals, your pattern probably won't tell you to replace the marker every time. So it's very simple. All you need to do is when you get to the first stitch of the round again, just take your marker out, work the stitch and then just pop it back in again, and that will then twist it round, and then that will always keep your first stitch of the round marked, so you can always tell when you've done a full circle, and you can also check your stitch count is right at that point as well. Sometimes in knitting, when you are working larger projects that have got a lot of stockinette and you just want to keep going round and round and not worry too much about slipping markers, and you don't want to risk getting a ladder in it or anything like that, you can use one of these lockable markers which can be taken in and out at any time. So to use one, all you need to do is squeeze it at the bottom like a safety pin just to open it up. Now this here is my first stitch of the round, so if I just follow that down, you can see the column of V's that's created from that stitch. So all I'm going to do is put my marker through one of those V's and lock that back up. So now I can just keep working seamlessly, and then when I need to find my beginning of the round, when this is long enough, I can just follow up my column of V stitches to where the first stitch is, so I know which is the beginning of round, and this is not going anywhere because it's locked up, so that will stay there for as long as you need it. So sometimes when you're working larger projects, when you've been asked to work a certain number of rows rather than a measured length, it's really helpful to use these lockable markers every, say, 20 rows, 30 rows, whatever you want to do, so that you don't have to keep going back and counting each one all the way up. So it's a lot easier for you to know when you've reached your specified number of rows from the pattern. So as we did with the beginning of the round marker, you can just open up the little safety pins, fasten them around one of your little V stitches, and just place them every 20 rows, 30 rows, whatever you want to do, just to make it a little bit easier for you so you don't have to count every single time.